Hello, this is ZahDoTutorials, and today I'll be showing you guys the basics of Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop. Okay, so first of all, when you open up Adobe Photoshop, the first thing you'll see is probably a blank screen with many features on the side. Well, in order to make a new document, we have to go up to the File tab and select New, or we can simply press Ctrl N. Once we do any of those, this window will pop up and we can name our document. So I'm going to call this document example, and we don't want to change the preset, but as you can see, these are the settings, the initial settings that is going to appear once you make your document. As you can see, the width is going to be 95 pixels, the height is going to be 97 pixels, the resolution is 72 pixels per inch, color mode will be RGB color 8-bit, and the background content will be white. So practically we're going to have like a rectangular white document when we press the button OK, but we don't want that right now, so let's go for something like, usually I will use inches since that is a lot better, and 10 inches, 20 inches, 19 inches, 12 inches, 5 inches are already pretty big for a image, so I'd rather use inches than pixels because I'm more comfortable with it. But if you're more comfortable with pixels, it's your choice. So usually I'd set up 8 and 8 so we can have like that perfect square. So it'll be a square and not a rectangle, while the other settings I usually don't touch except if this is changed. For example, since we are using inch, we'll do pixels per inch. If we're using something like centimeters, millimeters, points, because pixels, we can choose the other option, but since no, we're not doing that, we're going to use pixels per inch. These other settings you don't want to touch except for the background contents. If you want it to be like a white background or a background color, you can choose one, or a transparent, the one with no background. Sure, but for now I'm going to choose white. Now let's press OK, and there you have it. We have our new document. Now, after making your document, you probably want to change the color of the background to your likings. So you might be wondering how to do that. Well, it's fairly simple. As you can see, we should select the tool. We should select this tool, paint bucket tool, and we will select here to choose the color that we want our paint bucket tool to drop. For example, if you want a yellow background, then we can go up here to this top right corner, click OK. Now if we press on this white document, it will become yellow. But for now, the color that I want something like cyan, and boop, there you have it. Now the background color is cyan. Now, after having the background color set up to what we want it to be, you probably want to add an image. Most people would find adding an image to the document quite difficult, and I can understand why, because it's not very straightforward. But don't worry, it's fairly simple, and I'm here to show you. First, you want to drag your mouse to the File tab and press Open, or you can press Ctrl O. Once you do any of those, a window will pop up and it'll tell us to choose the photo that we want to add to open up in Photoshop. Let's say I want to open up this yellow heart. Let's select it and open. There you have it. Now you might be wondering, how do we add this photo into this document? Well, it's fairly simple. All we want to do is drag our mouse here, click on it, hold, and pull it like that, creating a new window. Now we let go, so it should look like this, and now we select this tab leading up to this yellow heart picture, and then you see here layer 1 with the yellow heart as its symbol. we want to click on it, hold it, and drag it into the tab, into the window of the document. Once we let go, the yellow heart will now appear inside the document. And now we want to reattach this to the main window like this, and there you have it. Just like that, we have added an image to the document. Now, after adding the image that we wanted to add into our document, you might be asking, that's great, but how do we resize it? Like, how do we change its size or move it or anything like that? Well, to be honest, I already showed you how to move it. Just click on this tool and there you have it. You can just drag it around just like that. But you might be asking, how do we change its size? Well, that too is not straightforward, but I can show you. As you can see, usually in Word or PowerPoint or anything else like that, if you right click, it usually show up with something like copy or paste, but for this one it's layer 1 background, and if you try to click on it, nothing will appear, so you can't change its shape. All you can do is just move it around the document, corner to corner, side to side. Yeah, it's not really much useful, but don't worry about it. I can show you how to do it. You want to click on this tool, the rectangular marquee tool, and then you want to make a box around the item, the image, the object, whatever you call it. Around it, you want to make a rectangle that surrounds it, and then let go. Once you've let go, it should look like this. And then, using this tool, you want to right click and you want to click on Free Transform. Once you click on that, you're now able to manipulate its size to whatever you want. For example, I can make it extremely big. There you go. Now click on this tool again to apply the transformation. There you go. Now we can also right click on this and deselect in order to get rid of those annoying lines. But for me, I like to keep those lines on the object because it looks cool. So there you have it. That is how you change the size of an object. Next and final thing you need to know about the basics are layers. Now if you look at the right hand corner of my screen, you can see here where my mouse is. So far there are 2 layers. One layer called the background layer and another layer called layer 1. Now I'm going to add another layer, just like that. You click on this button to make a new layer, and so far this layer doesn't have anything, so nothing new appears. Now layers is actually something quite complex to explain about, so I'm going to make another video about layers. So practically I'm going to be explaining how layers work and their functionality and their logic in another video. But so far, that is all you need to know about layers in this video. I said that layers was going to be the final basic thing that you need to know about Photoshop, but I was wrong and I forgot one more thing, and that is how you save your document as a JPEG file or PNG file. Well, it's fairly easy. I'll show you. First of all, you want to click on the File tab, just like so. Oops, something's happening. Oh, there you go. And oh, this is Edit tab, File tab, much better. My mistake. Now you want to go to Save As, or you can press Shift Control S, and it'll automatically do it for you. Once you do those, a window will pop up and it'll tell you to save your document. So far our document is called example And right now this folder is empty, and if you look here, we don't want the format to be Photoshop, but we want it to be something like JPEG or PNG and some other things like that. So we want to click on it, and there's going to be a pull down menu just like so, and as you can see, there are like a gajillion other image formats that we can use, like JPEG, IFF, BMP, TIFF, PNG, but so far I want my image to be JPEG. So if we click on this, there you have it. So now if we save, this should be a JPEG file inside this folder, and that is how you save your document as a image according to the format you want. So if we press save, another window will pop up, and it's this one. Oops, something's wrong. Let's wait for a bit. Okay, there you go. Now so far we usually don't want to fiddle with any of this, so I simply press OK, and just like that, your file, your document is saved as an image according to the format you chose. Now that was the last thing you guys needed to know about the basics. I hope you guys learned something from this and have started to make a simple Photoshop edit like this, like a simple hearts with blue cyan background. You can make it your WhatsApp profile picture. I don't know, that might look pretty, but yeah, so far so good. I'll be explaining everything else, and I'll be making more tutorials about Photoshop. But in the meantime, see you soon. Goodbye.